This show is produced by the Harwood Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and we love making this show available to you free of charge. If you'd like to help us keep it that way, please make a contribution to our Karma Jar. For more information, visit our website. Today I'm baking these delicious caramel thumbprint cookies. This is a great little brown sugar shortbread cookie that we fill with delicious melted caramel. I'm going to begin by creaming my butter. So I have 1 cup of butter out of the refrigerator. I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise twice and then run my knife through it to make these little cubes of butter. I find that creams up really nicely. And I'm going to put those both in my mixing bowl. And to the butter, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm going to let this cream for about 3 minutes until it is light and fluffy. Now I'm going to take my spatula, I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. I want to make sure that there isn't any extra butter that hasn't been mixed in. And I'll give that a quick spin. And then it's time to put our flour in. So I'm going to lighten my flour with my knife, and I'm going to measure out 2 cups of flour and put that right in my mixing bowl. And then I'll turn this on a low speed, and I want to mix it just until everything comes together. And then I'll want to take my spatula and scrape down the sides again. Sometimes there's a little flour that's gotten on the edge. And I'll just do a final mix with my spatula. Now you're going to notice that this is more of a crumbly kind of cookie batter, and it has no leavening in it. It's actually more of like a shortbread cookie. I've got my baking sheet with a piece of parchment. I'm going to use my smallest cookie scoop to make little balls of dough, and I'll put them in my hand and give them a little roll, and they should be about the size of a small walnut. Now I find this is a really easy dough to work with, so if you have children in the house, they might enjoy rolling these into little balls. It's kind of like working with clay. Now I have a dozen little cookie balls on my tray. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to press into the center. I want to do it gently because I don't want to create any cracks in the sides of the dough if possible. And I just use my finger to kind of make a little well. That's where the caramel will go. And they should look like this when they're ready to be baked. Now I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and these are going to bake for about 15 minutes, and they should start to get a little bit of golden color on the edges. Now while the cookies are baking, I wanted to take a moment to tell you about the new premium video I just put up on the network. It's called Cake Decorating 101, and it's basically a 20-minute cake decorating lesson where I show you all the basic tips and techniques that I use when I decorate my cakes and cookies and cupcakes. It's a wonderful video for people that are just getting into learning how to cake decorate. We've also launched another premium feature. It's called Cindy's Kitchen Cookbook. I've taken the hundreds of recipes I've shared with you and put them into an easy-to-use online cookbook. You can sort all my recipes alphabetically to find the one you're looking for, search by main ingredients, or even the type of dish. I've also put together some wonderful menus, and there's a tab to help you plan your next party. If you love gardening, check out the Kitchen Garden tab, which can help you know when to plant, harvest, and cook with foods you grow yourself. And one of the things that makes this cookbook so special is that it is constantly updated with new recipes. If you'd like to subscribe for just $4.99 a month, go to harwoodpodcast.com/cookbook or look for the Cindy's Kitchen Cookbook logo next to any of my cooking podcasts. And you can see these are nice and golden brown. I want to get them off the baking sheet and let them cool on the rack. Now that the cookies are baked, I'm going to make the caramel filling that goes inside of them. So in a small saucepan, I have 22 caramels that I've unwrapped. I'm going to put those in there, along with 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And I put this over a medium-low heat, and I'm going to melt those caramels. After a few minutes, it starts to melt. And as they get more and more melted, it's important to stick with it and stir it constantly. And once it's totally smooth, we're going to take it off of the heat, and we're going to start spooning it into our cookies. So I've gathered them all on a piece of parchment, and then I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to drizzle some right into the center of each cookie. Now we don't want to overfill the well. Now, if you end up getting delayed, like the phone rings or something comes to your attention, if the caramel starts to get a little stiff on you, you can just pop it back on the stove on a low heat, and it will get nice and liquidy again for you. And you should have just enough caramel to fill each one of your little wells. Now, if you'd like to try these caramel thumbprint cookies at home, just go to our website and go to the cookie jar show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. Don't forget to join us on Facebook, and as always, if you have any ideas or questions for me, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.